Is your marriage slowly drifting apart? Not because of cheating or abuse or some massive sudden betrayal, but simply because the little things that once brought you together have quietly, almost invisibly disappeared. Well, let's dive right into this fascinating explainer of how minor daily neglect, rather than massive betrayals, is often the true silent killer of a marriage. Today we're looking at the simple, small habits that can rebuild your foundation and save your relationship before it's literally too late.
I want you to take a moment right now to directly assess your relationship health. Seriously, ask yourself, are you living like roommates? Have you and your partner stopped acting like a unified team and started acting more like two strangers who just happen to share the same address, split the bills, and sleep in the same house? Look, it's a tough question, but acknowledging this subtle shift is absolutely the very first step toward true restoration.
Before we unpack this blueprint, I want to give a warm welcome back to all our returning subscribers. Your support truly means the world to us, and I call on the new viewers to kindly subscribe and hit the bell button to enable you to be the first to receive notifications when next I upload a new explainer.
Okay, let's quickly map out today's agenda. We're covering 1. The silent marriage killer. 2. Tending your relationship garden. 3. The 7-day action plan. 4. Navigating conflict with kindness. 5. From adversaries to teammates. And finally, 6. Building a lasting bond. We are going to treat relationship health with serious, structured intentionality.
Let's jump right into part 1, the silent marriage killer.
Our culture absolutely loves dramatic narratives, so we tend to think marriages end with a sudden, explosive betrayal. But the data and the reality of it show us something entirely different. Most marriages do not fail overnight. They die a slow, agonizingly quiet death from small daily neglect. It's kind of like the death by 1,000 cuts principle. When you miss the small opportunities to connect day after day, week after week, the foundation just quietly crumbles right underneath you.
And as that distance slowly grows, you'll definitely start noticing warning signs in your daily life. Conversations that used to last hours, well, they become way shorter, mostly just logistics about the kids or the house. Physical affection decreases. That spontaneous appreciation completely disappears. And suddenly, minor disagreements about, say, taking out the trash escalate into massive character assassinations. This really proves that the cultural belief that love alone is enough is a highly dangerous misconception. Love is just the starting line. It's not the vehicle that sustains the journey.
Moving right along to part 2, tending your relationship garden.
The crucial point here is that a marriage is exactly like a garden. It requires intentional maintenance. I mean, you can't just plant a garden, walk away for 6 months, and expect to come back to beautiful blooming flowers, right? It takes active, daily commitment. You have to recognize that healthy relationships absolutely do not thrive on autopilot. If you leave a marriage on autopilot, it will naturally veer straight towards disconnection.
When we actively water our relationship, it yields connection, emotional security, and intimacy. But if you stop watering it, weeds don't just ask for permission to grow, they aggressively take over the whole shebang. Weeds of resentment, deep misunderstandings, and emotional disconnection rapidly grow completely out of control. And the really dangerous part, many couples don't even realize there's a weed problem until the garden is completely choked out.
That brings us to part 3, the 7-day action plan.
Now, I want you to think of these 5 consistent positive actions not just as fluffy romantic gestures, but as highly effective professional relationship building techniques. Think about it. In your career, you wouldn't ignore your biggest client for months and expect them to stick around, right? You check in, you appreciate them, you make time. We'll do the exact same thing here. Number 1, talk about each other every day. Not about the bills, not about work, but about your inner worlds. Number 2, express appreciation actively. Number 3, show physical affection. Small touches create massive emotional security. Number 4, practice kindness in conflict. And number 5, make intentional time. These aren't optional. They require your dedication every single day.
Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking, but we're exhausted and way too busy. Look, if you are incredibly busy, you can still implement this practical 7-day action plan by following 3 simple steps. First, never assume your spouse knows you value them without actually telling them. Just send one simple daily text of gratitude from work. Second, carve out a non-negotiable 15 minutes of intentional connection daily. Just drink a cup of coffee together before the kids wake up. Third, share a physical gesture, a hug, a quick kiss before walking out the door. It takes literally seconds, but it completely sets the psychological tone for the entire day.
Let's dive into part 4, navigating conflict with kindness.
Here is a massive game changer. You do not have to win every argument. Actually, I want to say that again because it's so important. You do not have to win every argument. Prioritizing the health of the bond over your own ego is exactly how you practice true conflict de-escalation. When you make the goal protecting the relationship rather than winning the debate, the entire dynamic of your fights will totally shift.
Let's imagine this in practice. It's Tuesday night, you're both exhausted, and a heated argument starts over a totally forgotten chore. Now, instead of bringing up a laundry list of your partner's past failures and flaws, you actively choose to take a breath. You lower your voice, adopt a soft tone, and simply say, "We're exhausted, but I love you, and we can figure this out." Choosing kindness during a disagreement actively prevents that emotional distance that causes couples to drift into becoming mere roommates.
Next up is part 5, from adversaries to teammates. This right here is the ultimate turning point in any struggling marriage. The exact moment you stop seeing your partner as an adversary fighting against you, like they're the enemy who is the source of all your frustration, and you start seeing them as a unified teammate, everything begins to change. That is the exact moment where the bleeding stops and true healing starts. You are in the same boat. If you shoot a hole in their side of the boat, well, you're both gonna sink.
Choose your spouse every single day. You didn't just choose them on your wedding day while wearing a fancy outfit. You have to wake up and choose them today, right now. A successful marriage isn't built by perfect people. Your spouse doesn't need a perfect version of you. It is built by 2 committed individuals who consciously choose patience when they are frustrated, who choose understanding when they are hurt, and who choose forgiveness when resentment wants to take over, despite all of their human imperfections.
Finally, part 6, building a lasting bond.
Remember that strong marriages are not simply found out in the wild by lucky people. They are built. They are built through these small, repetitive actions that rebuild trust and ensure long-term success. So, communicate daily, appreciate actively, show physical affection constantly, practice kindness intentionally, especially when it is really hard. Make time consistently. If you execute these small daily habits, you will completely transform your relationship garden.
To conclude, I want to ask you a question. What habit will you choose today? Which of these habits has made the biggest difference in your marriage, or which one do you plan to start implementing tonight? Please make sure to like this explainer and drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read as many as I can, and I absolutely love seeing how you are building stronger relationships. Keep watering your garden, and I'll see you in the next explainer.